everybody. It's Janelle with Good Enough with Janelle, and I am so excited to have everybody here today. This is a cram-packed video. I had to speed things up pretty quick to get it within the time slot that I wanted it to be because there's so much in this video and so much variety. We're starting off with laundry. I had decided to do some of Pip's bedding, and when I do that, I use Nature's Miracle Laundry Boost and just put a little bit on top just to help with the smells and odors and other stuff. I do that whenever I do any of the animals' bedding, or if I'm doing something like blankets or something that may have additional pet smells on them. So then I include that. And then after I do the bedding, so I do all the pet bedding at once, and then I clean the washer with an Fresh washing tablet, and then I'll put our regular clothes in and wash it, but not until after I do that purify cycle. And so here we are getting ready to fold some blankets that I had washed after while I was doing the pet cleaning here. So that's some of the blankets that we use on the couch just when we're chilling out and relaxing. And so I'm folding that stuff up, and it's going to be making its way over to the couch. I am super excited to have everybody here today. If you haven't, please give the video a thumbs up, comment and say hello in the comments below. And if you haven't, I would love it if you took a moment and subscribed to the channel. Your subscription helps me get noticed by YouTube along with your comments and your likes. And as my videos get more noticed by YouTube, they'll recommend it to other people as well and help spread the word that, you know what, it is okay to be good enough with your cleaning. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be absolutely 100%. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting up and doing anything and finding that energy and motivation to just do the littlest things like laundry or the dishes. So be sure to give the video a thumbs up, comment down below, say hello, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate everybody that partakes in watching my videos, and I've met so many great people here on YouTube. It's really been a great process, and this particular cleaning motivation niche is just amazing, and everybody I've met has been so wonderful and so kind and just perfect. I just love you all. You guys are so wonderful. So again, when you guys are doing your dryers, do not forget to empty out your lint trap. I tell you guys every time, just because it is a crazy fear of mine to have to do that and that it would cause a fire. So I always make sure I take care of that. Be sure to find me on Facebook and Instagram as Good Enough with Janelle, and I'm on both of those platforms. So I would love to have you guys join me over there as well. And with that in mind, I am going to be quiet now and leave you to watching some of the video as I prep for what actually turns out to be one of the last wrap meals that I'll be having for a while, because I'm getting a little tired of the wraps. So we're going to be bumping up the lunch game, and the wraps will be no more, at least for a little while. This is me getting my vitamins ready for the week at work. I leave them at my desk and then they're ready for me when I'm ready to take some of them, and they're gummies and they taste great. So I decided I would also refill my pill container that I use for work with Excedrin migraine and Bare Back and Body. And when I went up to get my pills, I had the camera still recording and I captured this little one here. I thought I'd leave it in there. She was really cute how she sort of like walked up to the blankets and sniffed, then saw that I was coming, slipped away. And here we are with Jon Can Cook. Today's recipe is super simple and like the ultimate comfort food, at least for me. When I was a kid, and I mean like up until, now, one of my favorite things to make for comfort food is macaroni mixture. And it would just be like a box of cracked macaroni and cheese, some ground beef, obviously cooked, and then a can of corn. And I would make that, and had your meat, had your pasta, had your vegetables, whatever, and I'd mix that up, and that's macaroni mixture. And it's just, to me, like an epitome of comfort food. And so this is basically Jonathan stepping that up a notch. And so he's doing the ground beef, and then you see there, I thought I had tried to cut that out, but anyways, he was gonna put in the mushrooms there, but he ends up putting it in layers, so that's why you want to sell one little mushroom fall in there. But he steps up the game here with obviously spices in the ground beef. That's something I did never do before. And then he adds some cream cheese, and he added the butter to help brown the ground beef. That's also something I did not do. But he adds the cream cheese in a little bit, and then cooks up some noodles and adds that in along with the mushrooms. And it just really kind of stepped up the whole macaroni mixture game and tasted really good and more adult-ish than mine, although I still do love mine as well. But so this is him making the adultish version of macaroni mixture, the ultimate comfort food when you've had a rough day at work. I can't believe that when I was listing off the ingredients, I missed the most important part. For those of you that don't know, we actually live in Wisconsin where cheese is life. And I just got a riot out of watching him pour in a whole bunch of the Parmesan cheese into the recipe to make it a little bit cheesier and act as that thickening agent. Other people might use, other things, but here in Wisconsin, we use Parmesan cheese and it tastes great. we're back to cleaning. And this is actually after I done some cleaning upstairs, which will be in a separate video. And I had a bunch of pill bottles up there because they seemed to make it up there but never come back down. So I had brought them down because I needed to peel off the prescription labels from them so that I could recycle them and then shred the labels. So that's what I'm doing here, and this is so much fun. Next up, I decided to go through some mail that I knew wasn't critical mail, but I needed to pull out the stuff that was actually for shredding. So that's what I'm doing here, is going through all that and determining what needs to be recycled versus shredded. Here I'm just looking over a birthday card that I had gotten from my mom that she made. Isn't that cute? She makes cards, and I was just reading it one last time before it got recycled. But she makes some really, really cute cards, and it's always fun to see what we get from her. And of course, she also gives us our own stash for giving away cards as well. Here's a question for YouTube land. So what you're seeing me doing right now is marking 2 cards for return to sender, because they're actually addressed to, I believe, my neighbor's name, but our address. And we don't have a really close relationship with our neighbor. Like, we talked to her when we first moved in. We went over to introduce ourselves, and we're friendly, but not necessarily like, barbecue, like actually talk to them or go out of our way. It's like drive by and wave, kind of friendly. So my question for you is, if you had, let's say, a smidge of social anxiety, would you want to take the mail over to the neighbor, or would you just do return to sender? She's probably about, we're tucked off to the side about an acre lot. So she's not like 20 feet away from us. It's not like she's that close. That's when I was trying to use the grabber to put all the recycling in the recycle bin. That did not turn out very well. It fell apart and fell all over the place. So John had gotten a cart and for us to put snacks and stuff on, and some of our freeze-dried food, and just kind of keep it organized and make it easy to just grab on our way out the door. And so I am restocking it with a couple snacks right now. And it actually has been really cool to have that there, and very convenient, and we might need to add more stuff. So I had to do a slow show of the kitchen. It has massively gotten away from us, and I realized after the fact that I did not grab an after shot like this, but you can see as I'm cleaning stuff that it does improve significantly. But yeah, this was a rough moment with a lot of dishes. And as I do the dishes, I decided halfway through that I was going to finish them all. And it was a lot. But anyways. Out with the old and in with the new. I'm getting rid of the red brush that we used to kind of clean off the significant grime and gunk off of food. And I went to the dollar store and got a new brush. So threw the old one out, and now we have a nice brush, and it only costs $1. And so that way we can use that instead and go from there. So what I'm trying to do here, because it's such a disaster, is get some organization to the dirty dishes. And one of those things is by having things soak. I am big on letting things soak. With the dishes, when I do it, you see me putting dishes on top of each other, but I'm actually very gently putting them down so that it still keeps a layer of water in between. And if you look at the dishes as I'm putting them down and how dirty they are, wait till you see when I pull them out and start to kind of clean them. Just doing this really helps. But you put in enough water so that it's kind of overflowing, and then just gently put another dish down, and it almost kind of floats on it, but not really, like sinks a little bit. And that way it can continue to soak while you're doing other things. And so like I said, I am big on soaking dishes. And just remember, if you guys are behind on dishes and it's just really overwhelming, don't be afraid to go to the dollar store and get some of those paper plates, paper utensils, or plastic utensils, and use that while you use some time and buy yourself some time to get caught up on the dishes. You'll still have pots and bowls or something like that, but just not having the plates is a lot to get by. And I was listening to music there, and it was like a clappy point, and so I was clapping, and that's why you saw me clapping. But I had my music blasting while I was doing this, so if you see me looking like I'm talking, I'm actually just singing lyrics. Okay, so check out the dishes as I lift them up. Like, you can see that gunk is gone. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm just using the new brush and just wiping off any additional residual gunk. I'm not doing like a sanitizing type clean here. I'm just trying to get the gunky stuff off so it doesn't get on my sponge. Which, speaking of sponges, so you guys may have noticed I started using the Scrub Mommy brushes, or Scrub Mommy sponges. And I like them, but I don't know what, I guess I want to say I don't know what makes them better than a regular two-sided sponge. That's me questioning my existence in life because I was getting really tired of dishes. But anyways, back to the Scrub Mommy. I like it, but I don't know if it's worth the expense to me as it would be just to get like a bunch of the two-sided sponges at the dollar store. So can somebody give me some feedback maybe in the comments below and let me know? Like, I know, hey, they have the, the opening for the eyes and the smile, and that serves a purpose, and you can put your fingers in the eyes and use that when you're cleaning, and I do that. And you can use the silverware through the mouthpiece, and I try to do that. I usually get the fork stuck on some of the sponges I'm putting through there, or like the tougher part. I don't know. I'm stuck with that one. Like, I really, really, really want to like it. Like, I actually saw it when they came on Shark Tank originally, and they did their actual presentation the first time, and I was impressed with them then and thought it was really cool, and I do think that's really cool. But in the same breath, I'm like, well, I don't know. Just tell me in the comments below why you feel like that's, like, should I really put the money in that expense, or just go to the dollar store and get a multi-pack of those like green and yellow sponges that, if they aren't the greatest, it doesn't necessarily matter because they're like 20 cents each and you just throw them out. So, but anyways, thank you guys if you made this far. I did try to speed up the dishes because this was a very long process. But be sure again to give the video a thumbs up, comment down below, and just let me know you're there and you've staying with me as I'm going through the dishes. There's more at the end after the dishes. I promise it does not end with this. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Please subscribe if you haven't, and just enjoy as you see me having crossed the threshold of knowing that I'm just going to do all these dishes, and it's going to happen. I'm going to get everything done, and I am stubborn to a core, and I deeply regretted the decision just because it was a lot of work, but I loved the end result. So, thanks. So I don't think that this pan was actually dirty. There's stuff in it, but I wasn't able to get it out. You'll see me kind of staring at it and kind of scraping it with my fingernail, but it wasn't really coming out. And I had it there because I want to do some project with this, but it oh, and then they all come falling down. Oh, that was a nightmare. Everything was on a balancing act up there. But anyway, so the pan, that's why I wasn't putting a lot of effort into cleaning it, because I think it was already clean and I wasn't that concerned about it. And then this coffee filter was such a pain in the rump. The coffee grounds were just stuck in there and it was just not cooperating at all with me. They were tucked way in and tucked around the grinder thingy majiggy, the whatever. And it wasn't a fun experience. And I was just done at that point. That was like the last dish. The water was hot. It was burning my skin. I was done. So I was done. And then look, I promise there's stuff after I did the dishes. So I just put in some of the Dawn dishwashing liquid and I'm scrubbing the sink clean, since I haven't completed the dishes in a while. So the fact that I had the clean sink, I want to take advantage of that and use just the Dawn dish soap and scrub mommy. Between the dishes, the brush, and that drain cover, I felt like gravity was working against me when I was doing the dishes yesterday. It was so frustrating. But it is what it is, and they got done, and all's good. So just doing some quick picking up there, and then I decided to try to tackle the stove a little bit. It had been a little while, so first I did a multi-purpose cleaner, then I did a degreaser from Method, and that seemed to be pretty good. And then I did some cream cleaner on the 2 front burners because they get used the most. And then I used the Method antibacterial kitchen or like all-purpose spray, and I had to turn the fan on. That was a lot of different smells, and my nose and head were not appreciating that. So I would highly recommend that you do not do that. Just take my advice on this one. Just trust me. Don't do that, because that was not good. And it's funny because I wondered if I was going to see a difference when I did this. Ugh, look at all that. Every single time I did a paper towel run, it came back just dirty. Like, no matter what cleaner I did, it still had gunk and ick on the paper towel. So I was glad that I was getting that done. And it at least seemed like it showed some improvement, because you can see like the back was all shiny all the way through, and it wasn't when I first started, so that made me happy. But anyways, that's that. As the video is coming to an end, I just wanted to thank everybody again for your support on my channel, and for giving those thumbs up, and for commenting down below. Leave me a little heart emoji. Let me know that you've made it this far. And just for subscribing if you haven't already. Again, all those things, they mean so much to me. And they just make my day every time I get a notification that I've gotten one of them. So you guys are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So I do not actually clean the cast iron pan. I told John that I'll clean the other dishes, but the cast iron pan is left for him to do. And here's a container that we have. We get cheddar cheese powder, like what you get in the Kraft mac and cheese boxes. We get that. It's really convenient for when you're doing homemade mac and cheese to have that. And so we just have it in a refillable container and use that. And little out there of Pip in the background.